Trisha Paytas needs to shut up when it comes to Judaism. A lot of videos have been coming out in the last few years calling Trisha out for doing and saying offensive things. These include, but are not limited to, coming out as a transgender gay man, claiming to have dissociative identity disorder, and blackfishing. But strangely, no one is calling her out for being an anti-Semite. Sure, there are comments on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter, but nobody's made a video dedicated to it. And that's where I, your friendly neighborhood Jewish librarian, comes in. May God help me through this difficult time. But she's always posting about celebrating Jewish holidays, her Jewish fiancé, and being Jewish. How can she be anti-Semitic? She put vanilla in her matzo balls. That should be enough in and of itself. There's no hell in Judaism, but if there were, it should be enough to get you in. Trisha Paytas is what we call a philo-Semite. Basically, they're like weebs, but for Judaism. Unfortunately, like weebs, most of them tend to be white people who think it's fun to appropriate, not appreciate, the culture and religion without understanding it. These people also perpetuate negative stereotypes of Jews, which is incredibly harmful. I shouldn't have to explain why, but here we are. So, no matter what Payta says, right now she isn't Jewish, and she still loves Jesus.
Jesus and I were like this. We talk every day. I love him and he loves me. I love Jesus.
Sorry, but if you believe in Jesus, you can't be Jewish. Judaism and Jesus are incompatible, and if you believe Jesus was the Messiah, you don't get to speak for us Jews. We're not just your religion minus Jesus. Some Christians who claim to be Jews who believe that Jesus was the Messiah and call themselves Messianic Jews. That's a whole nother level of nonsense we're not going to get into today. And before you ask, yes, Trisha has associated herself and tried to claim that she's a part of this group. A lot of what Trisha says about Judaism is really offensive or just plain wrong. And it really shows how ignorant she is and how unwilling she is to learn and grow as a person. Trisha was raised Roman Catholic, but started identifying with Judaism in early 2020 when she met Moses Heckman and started dating him. They are now engaged. And this is where we're going to begin, because I cannot force myself to go back farther than that. Even though she made plenty of anti-Semitic comments prior, this is as much as I'm willing to suffer for art. Watching this video is one of the most painful experiences of my life, and I've had my wisdom teeth out. Ethan and Neela Klein are the couple behind H3H3 Productions. They're both secular Jews. Their main YouTube channel focuses on reaction videos. They also run a separate podcast channel. Frenemies features Trisha and Ethan, and the two discuss hot topics that contrast their very different viewpoints. Frenemies will be our focus for this video. H3H3 has a huge audience with well over 2 million subscribers. Moses, an artist, is Hila's older brother, and he does not have a significant online presence. And of course, we can't forget about our main character, Trisha fucking Paytas. She's been on YouTube for more than a decade and is a well-known troll. It's hard to know what she really thinks or believes or knows about anything. Trisha originally claimed she was dating Moses to mess with the Kleins, but that's obviously no longer the case. They have also recently bought a house together, and Trisha claims they're attempting to conceive. Now that you have the background, it's time to talk about what you actually came here for. The problem with Trisha Paytas. So the Frenemies podcast kicked off with the episode, Trisha's new boyfriend is Hila's brother. And it was wild from the jump. Ethan actually said something kind of prophetic in that first episode.
This podcast is a disaster. Because
they barely edit Trisha at all, I'm going to be focusing on Frenemies rather than Trisha's own content. Obviously, I'll also be including some of her cringier takes. Either way, the fact that they invited her to do the podcast in the first place seems like a risky move to me. But obviously, it brought in the views and the clicks, so the podcast is still going strong, despite Trisha threatening to quit multiple times.
Don't you find it odd to say I love Jewish people just as a general statement?
People do say that. They think it's like weird, like I like fetishize or obsess over Jews, but I just love them. They're so interesting.
What do you love about Jews?
They're so different.
Whatever.
I think the same with him though, because I always tell him like you're not my type either, and I think it's like fun now. He's like a toy. It's like, oh, I got a Middle Eastern, you know?
Oh my God.
It's fun.
I don't want to say anti-Semitic because you love Jews.
Wait, what? Me?
I'm not, and I said I'm not going to say
I
anti-Semitic.
love Jews. We always talk about this.
Yeah, but it goes to a point of like fetishizing them.
True, yeah.
So I don't know if that's anti-Semitic or
why can't
because you I don't know that you like him as a person. I think you just fetishize him.
I always ask him that too. I'm like, I wonder if I just like the idea of you.
You
you're, like,
say
new.
that to him?
Yeah, like he's like, I don't know if it's like he's just different and new and like a toy. So I'm like,
that's what it is. Fuck him up.
I actually enjoy him.
I'm not gonna. I think
he's a Jew.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, maybe we shouldn't fight.
After I said I love like Jewish men, he's like, I'm a Jew.
I shouldn't need to add anything to this. One of the reasons Trisha gives for her fetishization of Jewish men is their penis size. She also said that we're traditionally unattractive, which is obviously incorrect and pretty narrow-minded. And like most philo-Semites, she fetishizes Jews in general, and in a way I don't get. It's like she thinks we're a Hogwarts house or something, that Judaism is just a fun personality fandom thing. It's creepy.
I'm a Catholic. I don't believe in suicide. I believe I need to get to heaven. Like, I'm also Jewish too, but Catholic is.
She's not Jewish.
I'm converting.
Not that I care, but she's not.
Okay, well, I'm on my way to convert. My boyfriend's an Israeli Jew.
I don't know what Trisha actually knows about Judaism. If she somehow turns out to be an expert in Jewish culture and history, I wouldn't give a damn. She's doing considerable harm by perpetrating ignorance on the enormous platform she has. And she doesn't seem too interested in correcting herself when people try to explain to her that she's wrong. Like, she actually dressed in an IDF t-shirt for Rosh Hashanah dinner.
Was that you showed up in like an IDF uniform and a beret and shit. Like, you know it. You know that we don't dress like that.
Yeah, because you're the American Jews. I was representing the Israeli Jews that were present.
There was 2 Israelis there. Neither of them were in IDF uniform.
They were, though, at one point. So I was representing us. I was like on their side. I was the Israeli Hawkman side, and you were representing American Klein side. So I was trying to, show up. Moses thought I looked cute, by the way. He said I looked.
She seems shocked that you shouldn't dress up like a soldier for a holiday that isn't Halloween. Dear God, please don't let her find out about Purim. Rosh Hashanah is one of the holiest days of the year. It's not a Renaissance fair. During that same dinner, she was upset that nobody was speaking Hebrew at the dinner table. Like she assumed all Jews knew and speak fluent Hebrew. She also claims to speak Hebrew, but does not.
I speak Hebrew.
No, you don't.
A little bit.
Okay, whatever.
Tagabatahat
Like
bavakasha.
What?
Tagabatahat bavakasha.
What?
Shali? Tagabatahat shali bavakasha.
Tagatali?
Did I say it right?
No.
Pakitavet.
There are many reasons why Hebrew or Yiddish are not commonly spoken, and Trisha appears completely ignorant to them, and to other basic Jewish history.
I low-key got really sad about the Holocaust this weekend. Moses explained to me what actually happened, and I started crying.
You just found out about the Holocaust?
I had no idea that they tricked them into going into showers and killed millions of them that way.
Apparently, Jew lover Trisha Paytas didn't know about one of the most significant events in recent Jewish history. So that's something. Don't ask her about the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Were you surprised that a movie about the Holocaust was sad?
Oh yeah, it was way too sad. We started watching it, and then our dinner arrived, and I felt really sad eating mac and cheese while someone was getting blown in the back of the head. So I was
Moses,
so
how do you? This is insane. You can't.
Yeah, he hated it too.
Well, this is this is not the takeaway you're supposed to get from Schindler's List.
We did watch the ending on YouTube, but we couldn't understand the ending.
Well, Moses certainly isn't helping this situation either. But she was also more offended about somebody not knowing who played Beetlejuice than seemingly the entirety of the Holocaust. She also knows less than nothing about Judaism as a religion.
This is worse than the Holocaust.
You're not supposed to say his name. I found out if you're Jewish. G-D.
You're not supposed to say Yahweh. Well, Yahweh is the acronym because you're not supposed to. You can say Yahweh, right? Oh, you know? Oh, fuck. Oh, no! Yeah, you can say God. You can't say Yahweh.
Oh.
Yahweh's his name.
Stop!
Yahweh!
This is strange and not like a thing at all. Ethan also isn't a lot of help. He does try to call her out occasionally.
It's not the Jews that get angry.
No, it's the American Jews that get angry, which aren't real Jews. You're
what?
It's calm down. You're from Ventura, California. You don't know the struggle. He's Israeli. They were slaves in Egypt.
He wasn't a slave.
His ancestors were. Your ancestors weren't.
Wait, why? Well, what?
Because he's in the land of the free,
Wait, hold on.
Anyways, this is
You know that. Wait, hold on. You know that Jews who moved to Europe, which is where my ancestors come from,
right,
have a common origin. That's what being Jewish is.
Right, but they weren't exiled.
That's why they live in Europe.
No.
So where'd they come from? Where'd they come from, Trisha?
I don't know, but I know that the people in Israel were exiled from Egypt as slaves.
Where do you think that the people from Europe come from?
Where were they exiled
The same place, bro.
Where does Trisha think American Jews came from? That we sprung out of the ground fully formed after Columbus decided he was in India? American Jews are just as Jewish as Israeli Jews. All Jews are Jews. She seems to have a very weird idea of what constitutes a Jew that follows no internal logic. She can't seem to figure it out. She thinks that you have to keep kosher and you have to be ethnically Jewish. She also conflates being Israeli with being Jewish, which means that if you aren't an Israeli Jew, you aren't as Jewish. This just makes my head spin.
And now I have Moses to like parade around because my dad loves Israel. Like he's very Christian. And so he goes over there and looks at all the Jesus stuff. Like he's been over there multiple times. So like now I have like my good Israeli boyfriend who's like knows a lot about the Bible.
You're an American Jew, you're not even an Israeli Jew. Like something that was like so stupid and like who would really care? And I got my boyfriend who is an Israeli Jew. What's up, babe? Birthright of Jew. Like he's born into Judaism. That's it. Well, by the way, he doesn't really practice, but he's very intelligent on the matter and had a bar mitzvah and all that.
So that's messed up. Being Israeli doesn't make Moses more of a Jew than anybody else. If he was observant, it wouldn't make him any more Jewish. But Moses is hurting other Jews by enabling Trisha to behave this way. Why, my dude, are you okay with this stuff? He might be just as bad if he's encouraging her.
Uploaded this video called Best Challah Bread Recipe. And by the way, if you guys want to see the outfit, I want to say costume.
It's not a costume.
that Trisha came to my house in. You can see it here. Why are you wearing a beret like you're going to battle? Shit's crazy.
They wear
bro.
green berets over there.
No, they don't. I lived there for 5 years. Nobody walks around in berets unless they're in the army.
I googled Israeli soldier, and there's a green beret that comes up with the green pants.
So why don't you dress up as an American soldier when you just want to? Like, why are you fetishizing the army?
Because now this is my new culture.
Stand.
Okay, but why? This is why we're not all equal.
Okay, why don't you just go to? Okay,
we're not judgmental here.
If you go to Saudi Arabia,
and they're in Israel, and they just continue to be little and sheltered and stuff, like that's why they're not evolving.
What do you mean little?
They're little. It's only 7 million people. Like LA is bigger than that. Like what's up? You know?
You don't know anything about, but it's a small piece of land.
I know where it is. Like you showed it to me on the map.
Is that the first time you saw it on a map?
That's probably why he ran away at 17. There's a reason people leave Israel. They don't stay there. No offense to Israel. I do want to come see you, but
damn, did a flip flop on Israel real fast.
What? So Trisha knows nothing about Israel, and she's appropriating Jewish culture, and I'm just already so tired.
Are non-Jews just not supposed to get married? Are we less than? Are we little peons? Are we little animals? Are we little ants beneath you? What kind of God says that? This is like Old Testament God, because that's what the Jews believe in. Old Testament God, you know, a little far-fetched to me.
You know, TikTok comes from me because they think I'm being like mean to Jews. Like,
yeah, you are.
They present themselves as Orthodox Jews, but Orthodox Jews are not supposed to have phones or TVs.
I'm pretty sure they're conservative, not Orthodox.
No, they're not supposed, and they have this platform.
I'm pretty sure they know better their rules of life than you do.
No, I have also a Jew in my household, so
if they're conservative, they can use technology.
Neither Trisha nor Ethan know anything about Orthodox Judaism, which isn't great. Look, this part about Orthodox Jews not being allowed to date or marry non-Jews is true. Many non-Orthodox Jews also choose to date Jewish people. It's not because we think less of others, rather more so it guarantees that any children will be raised Jewish, and also because so many Christians think like Trisha does. It isn't really Jews' job to educate ignorant people.
This one's good. I'll go for another one.
Oh my God, you know what? Did you tell me this, or did I just come to realize
I'm sorry.
that Theodore is a double Jew? He's Ashkenazi and the other one.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I agree.
He's like Eugene Levy.
Goodness knows what she means about being a double Jew. That's also not a thing. You can be ethnically half Jewish, but you can't be a double Jew. You can have an Ashkenazi parent and a Sephardic parent, but that just makes you Jewish? Honestly, I could fit almost anything Trisha says about anything into this section, but I suppose it's time to move on and get a little more specific.
Ew.
Oh, here, rating my Jew. Okay, this is the one I had a problem with.
Okay.
Now, Trisha, you know you can't. You says rating my Jew lunch.
Uh-huh.
Do you not see what's the problem with that?
I couldn't fit ish in there.
But Jew is like a derogative.
No.
My Jew lunch.
I think it's the way you say it. I was writing like, oh, my Jew lunch.
I can tell you with 100% certainty, you cannot say that. It's offensive.
Moses said it was fine, and he is from Israel and had a bar mitzvah, so.
Please don't use the word Jew as an adjective or a verb. The first is derogatory and makes a lot of us uncomfortable. The second is outright offensive. But more on that later. Along with being just wrong, Trisha says a lot of things that are...
So you renouncing the New Testament?
What?
You renouncing the New Testament?
No, but I also believe in the Old Testament. As a Christian, I also believe in Genesis.
Because believing the New Testament is like sacrilege to Judaism. That's all a lie.
Right, but Jewish people don't believe in hell. So what's it matter if I believe in the New Testament? What do they think was wrong with me?
Well, they just don't think you're Jewish.
Oh, well, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm Jewish by insemination.
Gross. What the fuck?
I have to explain why that last bit is offensive. Nor was it an image I need in my mind. I feel sexually harassed.
I feel like the Star of David is a bit much.
Why?
Well, because you're supposed to wear. It's like why would I wear a cross?
I believe in the Old Testament. I
It's not, but it's not like the Star of David is not a fashion statement. It's a
belief.
it's a symbol of faith.
I believe in the Old Testament 100%. I know all the stories.
But if you believe, okay, whatever. Let's move on. I'm not gonna argue biblical studies with you. I'm trying.
I'm ready.
Someone says I'm trying so hard not to cyber.
That person needs to get the stick out of their fucking ass. It's a Star of David, and you guys like. You're really gonna be. This is also what I hate about Christians and Jewish and everyone. I'm Christian. I'm Jewish. I'm all of it. How about stop fucking judging? Okay, like how about like stop judging people? Jesus, you're gonna call yourself like especially Jewish people. Y'all don't believe in hell. Where am I going? Why are you judging me? Like you know what I mean? Like Jesus, like just we're all getting to heaven. Relax.
Here's a good Star of David. You shouldn't wear a Star of David.
If my future husband's Jewish,
Moses is saying no Star of David.
No, she should wear.
Oh, you should wear a Star of David according to Moses. No wonder, dude. You can't.
That's what I'm saying only Jews should wear Star of David. That's the Holocaust.
Thank you.
What? Dude, that is such a fucking stretch. Moses,
That is the Holocaust.
that is so stupid.
It's a religious symbol, Trisha. And Moses, sweetie, no. It's not like the Holocaust to only allow Jews to wear Magen David. It's a religious symbol and it doesn't hold value in other cultures.
My point is, I don't know where my ancestors were, but I think I don't know. I mean, we
Slave
all were.
owners?
No, I think we all were like slaves at some point. We, as in you and me, because you were Jewish and I'm.
What are you?
I think I'm 18. I don't know. I think
Say
I'm.
it. What?
I don't know.
What are you?
I don't know. I think I might have a little bit in me, but I don't want to say that. Like,
Jews?
huh? No, like African American.
Oh, so you think because you're 13%
Okay, let's not
black
go there. I don't
that
wanna be-
you were you're a slave?
Oh no, I did not.
Because if you're
say
13%,
that.
That's offensive to several groups of people. You weren't a slave, Trisha, and you don't get to claim generational trauma.
oh, I hate it.
Jew! Look at the giant dreidel.
Trisha, you can't just scream Jew. You can't just drive around screaming Jew.
Why is that so big?
Say dreidel. Jews!
Did you need to point that out, Trisha? Are you just trying to hurt me? Was that necessary?
Yiddish is not even a real language. No one speaks Yiddish anywhere. It's like not a country that speaks Yiddish.
I think it's a language that disappeared and came back.
Did it though? And the only one I know speaks Yiddish is like Jew crazy. Like no one else speaks it.
Like really Orthodox Jews.
How come they don't speak Hebrew? That's the ultimate word of God.
I think it's like a secret language. Nobody understands what you're talking. So
I literally just made it up.
it sounds like it.
So I don't think I should have to say this, but Yiddish is a real language. People speak it. It's derived from German and has a lot of influence from Hebrew and Aramaic. Most people who speak it fluently these days are Orthodox. The reason they don't speak Hebrew more is because Hebrew died as a spoken language in like 200 CE and didn't get revived until the 19th century. Hebrew's only actually been around as a modern language for about 200 years, and by a very small group of people who might get in trouble if they spoke it.
I've dated probably, and I feel qualified to do this quiz too because I have probably had literally over 100 Jewish men inside of me.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Also, I love Jesus more than anyone I know, and he was a Jew, my favorite Jew, to be honest. Yeah.
How beautiful.
We love Jesus.
What? Just what?
Hi, convert here, Christian converting to Judaism. There are Jews for Jesus. I'll look it up. It's a real thing. But probably the most offensive, most anti-Semitic thing people tell me is that I'm not really Jewish. I'm disgracing the Jewish community because I'm on Jew Talk and I make Jew jokes because the people I'm around do, the people I date do, and it's my religion. It's also my culture by choice. I wasn't born into it, but I'm choosing to be it. And yeah, it's super anti-Semitic to tell me that I'm not welcome, that I'm not Jewish enough, that I'm not worthy of marrying a Jew because I wasn't born Jewish.
It's not anti-Semitic of us to not consider you Jewish, Trisha. It's just not. And it's not okay for you to make jokes about Jewish people just because the Jewish people around you do. Would you make jokes about black people if people around you were black? Being discriminated against for being Jewish is discrimination, pure and simple. It's not funny. In one video of her celebrating Passover, the Jewish site Hayama had a lot to say about Trisha's conduct. That video has her showing a yahrzeit candle to the camera and saying, it says something in Hebrew or Jewish or I don't know. I think it's all the same. And that Passover is not really a Jewish thing, it's like a freedom thing. She also inexplicably throws a KFC chicken wing and an entire raw onion on the Seder plate. Passover is a Jewish holiday. It's about Jewish freedom, but very much about the freedom for the Jews from the Egyptian oppressors. But there's also rules about what goes on a Seder plate. And neither of those things belong there.
So I was making jokes at Jewish people's expenses. If I was like, okay, you killed Jesus, you know what I mean? Like that's
not
gonna,
funny.
That's
just a statement.
Well, it's
There's nothing
offensive
funny.
to some.
It depends how you say it.
It's the way I said it now.
But it's not a joke. You just said something that's offensive.
Okay, Jewish people killed Jesus is a fact, is what I'm saying. But
That's debatable.
But it's a fact. But
That's definitely hotly debated. And I think that only people like Mel Gibson actually believe that.
First of all, wait, no, it's not debated. Jesus was a Jew. It's not like a bad thing. I'm not saying that. It's like
The Jews killed Jesus? That's that's propaganda.
That's all that existed
The Romans
at the time.
killed, the Roman government killed Jesus.
Okay, well, I like to, anyway.
You like to think the Jews did. I understand.
The Romans killed Jesus. The Jews didn't kill him, okay? That goes for the rest of you as well. Don't make me come over there. Trisha Paytas also constantly bullies Ethan using anti-Semitic tropes and insults. She never really apologizes for it and has continued doing this throughout the podcast.
Like, you're all about money. Like, as soon as TikTok, you heard you can make money, you're like, I'm on TikTok now.
What? I make like $5 a day.
I know you're all about the money, and not just because you're Jewish. It's because you're just...
That's not true. I'm really not all about the money. Why do you say that?
I know this.
Based on
everything that I've heard about you, that I know about you.
Heard about me
you're
from what?
You're money-driven, and that's fine.
That's just not true.
And even when you were joking about starting OnlyFans, you're like, I'm going to do it as a joke and see how much money I get, but you're going to get that cash grab.
I don't like that characterization because people always say that. Like, I'll do this. I feel like people make that characterization against me because I'm Jewish. Let me explain. If you compare me to any other creator, I'm just as money-driven as any of them. But for some reason, I get this label as like money-driven and greedy and all this, even though I'm doing literally the same thing as everybody else.
No,
so why is it that I have to take that label?
Because you try and be like sneaky about it. You try and be like schlubby, like I don't care about money. Meanwhile, just getting in where all the cash grabs are, OnlyFans, TikTok.
I'm not on OnlyFans.
But you wanted to as like a joke, but you wanted to get in and get that cash grab. Just trying to be.
But my life isn't about views.
It literally is about views. All you care about is like working, doing this.
You're literally projecting on me. You call me money hungry, and it's like literally all you do is just obsess over money.
I mean, I'm not saying that. See, I hate when people, that's fucking weaponizing when people throw it back on me. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. It's not projecting. Like, I'm not saying, hey, I love money too. Fuck yeah, fuck give me money. But like, it's not.
Just because you love money doesn't mean that you have insight to every single person.
Hungry. You so are.
No, I'm not.
When we were going to be 50-50 on the show originally, okay, here's weaponizing, saying stuff that's not
Dude,
on the
I
table.
gave you the most generous fucking
you came
deal.
Back 5
Go
minutes
ahead.
later and said, actually, 45 out of 45, 55. And I'm like, and you said to pay everyone. Okay, cool. I get that. Cool. But then to be like, and I'm just going to keep all the highlights for costs or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
How about what? Like, just recoup.
We spent $50,000 on this set.
Recoup.
We have a full set of guys that are working all around the clock
of our podcast.
And I literally, and you get 45%. That seems like a great fucking deal.
And 0 of the highlights.
The highlights is nothing.
I don't
dude.
care.
It's
I'm
just
saying,
it's just really annoying to crunch the numbers for a couple $100.
Over time, it's gonna get money, and it's just like, hey, it's fine. I don't care, but don't say I'm money hungry. I couldn't care less. Like I'm like, whatever. I would do this for free.
So you're not money hungry now.
Huh? I like money. I like money. I'm not money hungry. I'm
Okay.
not your beach view.
No, I bitched out.
Why?
I meant to tell them on the way out, but I never did.
Oh my God, Jew card revoked.
My card revoked? Which card?
Jew card.
Oh, my Jew card revoked? Thank you, finally. I've been trying to get that revoked.
But that's some bullshit. Say the hotel.
What is up with this woman? Seriously. Ethan might be ignorant to some aspects of Judaism, but that doesn't give you, a Christian woman, any reason to bully or harass him or call him not Jewish enough, especially when you're using age-old stereotypes to justify that without knowing where these tropes come from. Ethan, baby, sweetheart, Hamoudi, is this really worth the clicks? I'm not claiming to know his motivation, but it seems like this podcast is doing more harm than good. Trisha Paytas isn't a Jewish convert. Yet. But if she does convert, everything she's been saying would still be problematic. And we'd still call her out. But it would be because she was saying is still anti-Semitic. Some of the most interesting and exciting figures in Jewish history, and some of my close personal friends, are converts to Judaism. Trisha's not one of those people. She continues to affirm that she believes in Jesus Christ, a belief that is incompatible with Judaism. She does, however, persist in bringing awareness to Israel, despite not having an understanding of Judaism, Jewish issues, or apparently basic geography.
Israeli-Palestine conflict summarized by Trisha. Wait, you erased it? Because this is a link to your TikTok.
I think I put it back up. I asked Moses if it was okay if I put it back up. I didn't want to embarrass him further.
Okay, here it is. So the caption is, when you take your boyfriend's Israeli identity and all the comments are free Palestine, and you're just trying to figure out where Palestine even is and why it needs to be freed. I mean, it's funny how willing you are to be ignorant.
But it's true. They always say free Palestine. I'm like, I swear when I met him, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what is Palestine? Like, I had no idea.
Trisha wants to speak on Judaism and for Jews without being one of us or even being informed on basic Jewish views. Even though we frequently disagree, it's important to understand our stuff before you try to speak on it. This is basic. Questioning someone's Jewish identity is ordinarily not okay. I would never ask someone who identified as a Jew to give me their bona fides, under normal circumstances. In particular, Jews of color have been harassed and targeted often by other Jewish people. But Trisha's open about her Christianity and her love for Jesus.
Jesus was in me and he said, Trish, I think you can talk about me again. In fact, talk about me whenever you want. Because I love you and I love that you try to be the best you can be every single day. So cheers to Christianity. Who are you to judge my faith and my relationship with Jesus Christ? Are you Jesus Christ himself? I preach my love to the Lord. You know who the ruler of Christian TikTok is? Jesus Christ. Really? And guess what? Jesus Christ wants everyone to love him and to follow him and to share his word and share his story and never stop sharing about him and sharing your love. I bet by Jesus Christ. He's in my heart, my soul, my mind, my body, my spirit. He's right here, right now. Saying, Trish, I love you.
Clear that she hasn't gone through the conversion process, which is a lengthy process that involves about a year of intense study under a rabbi's supervision. If she had done that, she wouldn't be talking about Jesus the way she does, nor would she be so ignorant of basic facts. And considering her attitude, if she does want to convert in the future, she's gonna have trouble finding a rabbi willing to help her. I mean, no disrespect to converts to Judaism. Your Jewishness is valid if you weren't born a Jew, if you married a Jew and converted, or if you came to Judaism on your own. All converts are Jews, full stop. But in this case, Trisha has made it clear that the only person who considers her to be Jewish is herself. Footnote on mental illness. Trisha Paytas has been incredibly open about her experiences with mental illness, and that certainly affects how people perceive her. In this video, we don't really address her mental health, because while it does shape her content, it doesn't really affect her anti-Semitic comments. Trisha's had multiple meltdowns on Frenemies, but none of them really related to the things she's been saying about Jewish people. I'm also not an expert on mental health myself, so I suggest you check out this video made specifically about Trisha and mental health made by a professional. But Rachel, what if she's just trolling? That doesn't really matter. Trisha has her platform because she trolls, but saying something for attention doesn't excuse having said it. I do want to specifically say that mental health is never an excuse for behavior like Trisha's. Mental illness doesn't give you a free pass to be a bigot. Anti-Semitism is unacceptable. Period. A lot of Trisha's behavior in the past is reflective of drug use and mental illness, but this profound, unrepentant ignorance isn't excusable. Casual anti-Semitism isn't something you can excuse by saying that you have a Jewish boyfriend, and there are things non-Jews can say that we can. Trisha is a rich, famous, white Christian woman, and so her opinions about Judaism and Jews are irrelevant and frequently offensive. So, how do you stop someone like Trisha Paytas from spewing her horrifying views all over the internet to her loyal fans? If cancel culture existed, she would have stopped being profitable as an influencer a long time ago. But people love her. She has 600,000 followers on Twitter and 4.8 million subscribers on YouTube. She also makes a lot of money on OnlyFans doing sex work. We are not condemning sex work, just condemning supporting Trisha in any way. Sex work is work, that is all. I'm not innocent in this either. I subscribed to the Age 3 podcast channel to watch their podcast before we started working on this video. I allow her to have space in my online life and in my brain. A while ago, I tweeted about how bad I feel that my attention contributes to her brand surviving, and I stand by that guilt. The only way to stop Trisha Paytas is to make her unprofitable. She will keep saying poisonous things if she has a platform. Even this video right now is complicit in keeping her relevant because you might go look at her content after watching it just to see how offensive it is. There are two solutions to this problem. Trisha can grow, or she can go. She has been on the internet for a long time, and it seems like she's not willing to change. Trisha's not going to leave willingly, so people have to actively exclude her. Ethan and Hila should stop having her on their channels. YouTubers need to stop collaborating with her, unsubscribe from her channel, unfollow her on Twitter, and stop supporting her OnlyFans. Luckily, Instagram has already banned her, so we're over one hurdle on that one. You can still talk about her, just don't pay her. Tweet about her past racist actions, her trolling, and her offensive language. She doesn't deserve to be famous and make money off being prejudiced. Now, Trisha has also said that if people stop talking about her, she'll stop. Which means she knows what she's doing is wrong, but chooses to do it anyway. You might say, why would I advocate for someone to lose their living, especially a mentally ill person? Well, why don't we hear what Trisha herself has to say about that?
You're disappeared. Just stay away from the internet forever. Like, go work a real job. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, work at Cracker Barrel. Who fucking cares?